Oh my God, I love that intro. What's up, everyone? It's another Monday, and I am doing the usual Q&A. And I'm excited about tonight because I'm gonna be pulling back the curtains behind my business, showing you the systems that I'm using, a bunch of stuff that I use to keep my business running. There's always like you think technology works in your favor, and then something happens. Hold on. So we have persons who are watching in from what do we got? YouTube and Facebook. Ah, okay. Got quite a few people on Facebook. All right. But no, tonight is gonna be amazing. I mean, all my Q&As are amazing. You get the true version of me. No fluff over here. All questions you will get answered about my business, raising capital, doing being an entrepreneur, systems. We are actually going to dive super deep into this, and I'm trying to stop something on the back end so this can like stop uploading. But in the meantime, like we can have a start and you guys can like drop your questions. I mean, I have a few questions that persons usually ask me beforehand. If you are not in our free school community, make sure you join that. I will be dropping the link in the chat. So I have some questions there for persons who asked beforehand. Full disclaimer, you guys, that every single thing that I will be sharing with you tonight, I am not giving you guys financial advice, okay? This is everything that I'm sharing. It is from my personal experience. So go and consult your attorney, your financial advisor, your CPA, all those persons for advice. So anything that I say tonight and on all my talks and answers, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Like just a grain of salt. Because I don't want anyone to say, well, Kalisha said this is the way how to do it. So I'm following Kalisha's way. Consult your attorney first because I'm too nice for jail, guys. I am too pretty. I can't handle that at all. So I gotta put that disclaimer here. If you are joining tonight for the first time, welcome. Usually there's no like order or flow. If you have a question, just drop it in the chat and I will answer it. I do have questions, as I mentioned, that persons usually ask beforehand that I will answer those. But if you have your questions, you can ask away. Don't think any questions is too stupid. So before I jump into the questions, I just wanted to make a quick or a few announcements rather. So I will doing on I think it's Wednesday, this Wednesday, February 18. I'll be doing a master class at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Wow, I need to remember that. It's a 2-hour masterclass, and what I'm doing, masterclass slash training session, it's really helping you persons who are completely new. If you consider yourself to be a rookie and you want to raise private capital for acquiring your business or for real estate or even for other people, I'll be doing that masterclass and helping you break down week by week what you're supposed to do if you want to raise capital from private investors. Because then I think when you're completely new to raising money, we think that if we don't get to raise money in the full week, nothing is working. We tend to spam people, email, text, and then we don't follow up. We don't have like a structure to follow when you're raising money. So the session will basically be helping you to show that, hey, week one, these are the things that you should do in week one. So it's 2 hours. So it's 2 hours, but I'm gonna be telling you what to do week by week. So in terms of what your messaging should be, to identify who will you be talking to, organizing your contacts, because some of you may be like, Kalisha, I don't know who could be a private money lender. So especially if you're completely new, where to find those people. I also do not believe that you have a perfect pitch. So I'm not going to be giving you a perfect pitch, but most importantly, showing you how to create a pitch based on who you are talking to. That's the right way to put it, because we don't have a perfect pitch when you're raising capital. So we're gonna do that, and then showing you like week 2 how to like navigate those conversations, where to outreach to find new investors, whether that's online or in person. Showing you how to navigate that landscape, finding new people and following up and keeping track of those, and then we're breaking down like what you can do in like week 3, right? And this is, I think this part is where a lot of persons get very flustered or confused or give up. And then, that little shiny object syndrome kind of touch in. So we're gonna break down like how do you structure deals with private investor, whether to do debt or equity or to do both or JV. There's so many different ways how to do it. How to like explain the risk of any particular project that you'll be doing, to really share what your investors really care about. I know a lot of people might think like investors care about returns. Yes, but there's always like way more to it. So we're going to be breaking all of that, and how to systemize your check-ins. Like it sounds like a lot, but we'll be doing that in 2 hours. So once I will walk you through creating that plan and structure. So all you have to do is rinse and repeat. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and do it again the following month. Do it again the next 30 days. So you have a plan, right? So it doesn't matter if you are completely new. Or another thing that I hear a lot is persons who say that they have a W-2 job, they don't have the time, they don't know what to do. Then this would be perfecto. Okay. And then if you guys have ever done any of my masterclass, you will see that I like to really dig deep and explain things. So I even have testimonials on my page here as well for persons who have attended any of my masterclass or workshop, and you could see their true feedback from it. I just believe that when I got started in the real estate space and raising capital, I always say like, if I learn stuff, then I do not want to share basic level information at all. Like I want to go in detail and share with that person who is trying to get started on their journey. So again, if you have questions, drop them in the chat as well. The masterclass will be, as I said, Thursday? No, not Thursday. This Wednesday, February 18 at 7:30 p.m. EST. And I will drop the link, the registration link in the chat as well. I should have done that so it is easier and you guys can find it. All right. So that was the first announcement. Announcement that I wanted to share before I kind of start sharing my screen and showing you a demo to like the back end of how I run my business. A commonly asked questions I get is, Kalisha, what CRM are you using, or what software are you using? And how do you do this? How do you keep track of this, XYZ? And I tell people all the time, I use one software to run every single thing that I do. Any other third party that I use is in addition to that main software. So I use Monday project management tool. I love it because I love colors and I like seeing pretty things and it needs to be visual. I used to use Go High Level, and I know in the real estate space, Go High Level is very, very common, but it can also be very complicated to use if you don't have, if you're not tech savvy, right? And if you don't know how to set up all those triggers and automations, it can also be very overwhelming. So I know how to use Go High Level, but again, I like colors. I like stuff that looks super pretty. And Monday fit that box. So I just kept using it. And before I even moved to Monday, I was using what's that other software? I was using not was it ClickFunnels? No, not ClickFunnels. ClickUp. I was using ClickUp before I transitioned to Monday. So I built an entire system for my lending business to manage all my real estate deals in ClickUp, not ClickFunnels, in ClickUp. But then ClickUp just had certain features that I was not able to use. And then there were certain things that I wanted to do that ClickUp couldn't do it. So that's why I switched to Monday. Now I use Monday project management to manage my internal team, to keep track of all of our tasks, to keep track of partnerships. I use it to keep track of, let's see, all my marketing in one place. Think about it where, when you're in corporate, right? And you have different departments. You have legal department, HR, sales, marketing, customer service. You have all those things. That's how I treat my Monday, by having different workspaces as well. So I manage everything on Monday. If you use Slack, because this is something I hear a lot too, like persons who use Slack and use Slack, you have like different channels where you communicate and stuff. I used to use Slack. And then after I got Monday, I just got rid of Slack because there was no need for me to have Slack and Monday. Because on Monday, I can keep track of every person's task. I could put due date on those tasks as well. If my team needs me to review something, or they need my attention on something, instead of like the back and forth text messages, everything is on that particular task per se. Um, so that's why I like Monday. And I like the ability where I can pull data. So because I store everything on Monday for my lending business, I'm able to track to see how much capital I have outstanding, how much capital is coming due, um, like create profiles for borrowers as well, in terms of how much money I've lent each borrower, to see which loans are coming due. Like, I'm a visual person again. So I love the fact that it has charts. I can do bar charts, I can do pie charts, I can do all of that. For persons who are still just joining in, again, tonight I will be sharing you what the back end of my entire system looks like on Monday. But also, if you have questions outside of the systems, or about raising capital, or any question in general that you want me to answer, then you can just go and drop them in the chat. Now, I'm going to try to share my screen, and I hope this works perfect, because anytime, like when you prep for something to share your screen, you do the prep and everything goes perfect. And then in the moment when you're supposed to do it, there's like something going wrong. So let me not even jinx it. I'm actually going to share my screen now so you guys can see what my Monday board looks like. Okay. Let's do this up here. And if I go share screen, okay. All right, perfect. So you guys can see my screen. Hopefully it's showing that it's dropping here. If you guys are able to comment, if you can see my screen, drop it in the chat. I would hate for me to go through everything and you guys are not seeing my screen. That would suck. Like, that would suck. So if you are sharing my screen and you're able to drop like comment in the chat, just say yes or thumbs up, whatever that is. I just want to make sure that you are seeing my screen and I'm not yapping away and you're seeing a frozen screen. Okay. If you guys, again, can see my screen, let me know. If not, I'll take it as silent mean, what a thing called consent, whatever that is. I don't know. I do not know. Okay, so this is Monday. Monday is a project management tool. I use it to send mass emails. You can do it here. One of the things that I love with this mass email feature is that, so I use Monday to do mass emails, and I also use MailChimp to do mass emails. Oh, someone drop in the chat. You can see it? Okay, perfect, Sherry. Thank you so much. Okay, so I use Monday mass email to send emails. And the reason why I like doing it, because when you send an email from Monday, it goes straight into the person's inbox, their primary inbox. So a lot of times when you do like the other MailChimp or Go High Level, majority of the times it will go to spam or it will go to promotions. So when I need to send an email, like a very, very important email, I would use Monday, because I know it goes straight into that person's direct inbox. I can see if they click a link. So if I have a link in the email, I can see if they click that. I can see if they open it. The only drawback with this is that you can't do the fancy design and stuff. It's like this feature is like you sending a regular email from your Gmail account, right? And Ron said he can see it. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Ron. So that's why I like it Monday. Then I love the email sequence. So I love marketing, and I'm always like, how can I stay on top or in front of my investors? So for me, it's always this email sequence feature. Again, I can schedule out emails where if I add a new contacts to my, let's say I add a new contacts here, for example, right? I can maybe add them to a sequence. Maybe it's a welcome sequence to talk about who I am, what I've done. And in that sequence, let's say email 1 goes out tonight, and in 2 to 3 days, email 2 will go out, and in 7 days, email 3, yada, yada, yada. It can do all of that. Again, keeping everything in one place. And then, which is a cool feature, which I literally figured this out last week, using, so all this time, Monday had this sidekick thing, and it is their version of chat gpt in Monday. When I tell you, like, this feature can create boards, you just tell it what you're looking for, and this will create the entire boards, the drop downs, everything, for you in seconds. Like, game changer. You can connect your Gmail here, which I love. I love the fact that I can store my contacts in here. I can tag them as well if they're an investor, CPA, all that stuff. So I can keep, if someone is a private money lender or an investor, I could share what's their preferred lending option, whether they like equity, they like long-term lending, short-term lending, they like both, have their email, phone number. And I think one of the lead source, this is very crucial for me. This is why I said like data, because then I can know where is it most of my leads are coming from. With just by keeping track here, I can know how much money each of my investors have, um, referrals, location, their preferred method of contact. But this is what I like. All right. So if I add a contact in here, it will show me when I added that contact. Like, this is something that you cannot change. However, let's say I had a conversation with myself. Yes, I'm not crazy. I have a conversation with myself. Okay. I can put it that the last time I had a conversation with myself was the 16th. And based on the conversation, maybe that investor was like, you know what, Kalisha, this is something I'm very interested in, but I'm traveling. Can we touch base 2 weeks from now? All I have to do is come in here, put what is 2 weeks from now, March 2nd. And here's the thing. I have this set up, which there's so many ways for you to do it. Once March 2nd arrives, it will send me a notification through Monday, right? So it will send me like a regular alert to say, hey, I need to follow up with Kalisha. Oh my God, that sounds weird. I need to follow up with Kalisha on, because and my last contact day with Kalisha was February 16. Or it can send the person an email, right? Because I have their email. It can send them an email on March 2nd to say, hey, touching base, let's set up another call. And in that email, it will have my calendar link for them to book a call. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is I have another automation that is set up where it send me an email like one day before. Like, you can set up all those things. You can set up one day before, 2 days before, however you see fit. It can do all of that. Again, my goal is always, these are the things, like if I'm constantly talking to potential investors, how can I keep track of the conversation and knowing when to follow up? And most times I'm gonna forget to follow up because March 2nd, I may forget. Like that, honestly, right? Especially when you're doing so many things, you're gonna forget. So I like to have a system that reminds me to do that follow up. And I could put my notes in here, like any conversation I've had with that person. I also go the extra mile where I love asking them for their birthdays, because sometimes, most of the times, I give my investors a gift or a gift card. If they invest with me, I give them a gift card, or I'll just send them a birthday note. Like it's the little things, okay? It's just the little things. Um, Another thing is, let's see, because this is just one aspect of how I keep track of my lending business. Um, if I have new investors as well, they usually fill out this intake form. So a lot of persons would use Google Form, right? So Google Form, you will collect all the data. Google Form will turn it into a table, but then nothing else happens. Now you would have to export that list and you would have to do whatever it is that you want to do with it. Here, you have the intake form, which you have your own personal link. So if I do this and I kind of go over here and drop it, this is what the form would look like, right? And you can design it. I can have background. I could put this in the middle. I can put it here. I can do it where only one question shows at once. Like you can do whatever you want, right? But that's how it would look. But when they select fill this form out, it automatically converts into a table, which is what we need, similar to Google Forms. But here is the sweet spot. On my form, there's a question that asks like how soon are you looking to start lending or investing? Based on the options that they select here, it will now start categorize that lead in terms of, is this a hot lead? Is this a warm lead? Is this a cold lead? Because someone might be like, you know what? I might be interested in doing this 6 months from now. And they fill out the form, but I don't want to forget about them. For me, I'm like, I can nurture that lead for 6 months. Like I can educate them, I can get to know them. They're still in my pipeline, so I know I need to follow up, right? So anyone could be a potential investor. Again, based on the option here, it will categorize it, which Google Sheets will not do for you at all. So when it categorizes it, it will now add it here to an entire group called prospects, and it will tell the interest level, is this a hot lead, warm lead, and or cold lead. And here's the thing too, again, double out, which is why marketing is so crucial, because based on this it will automatically add them to a email sequence. So if they're a hot lead, they would get different email sequence, maybe an email every 2 days, every 3 days. If they're a cold lead, they're like, hey, I am ready. I will be ready in 6+ months. I do not want to bombard them with emails every single day. That would be annoying, right? So then, based on their interest level, there's an entire email sequence that is created specifically for that. You can keep track of the stages, like, are you doing the initial outreach? Do you have a call schedule? Is the call complete? Do you need to follow up? All those things you can put the information in here as well. Next contact date, where is their source of funds? You can do so much more, but this is like the basic stuff. Have I improved this for myself? Yes, I have. But the deeper I get into my business, it becomes very niche. So I try to keep this very general. But here's another thing too, is that where I mentioned the chart view. Let me check if you guys have questions in the chat. Okay, no. Feel free, if something's not clear, you guys, you can drop it in the chat and ask. But what I like is once I come to the chart view here, it can show me like how much leads I have in each pipeline, how much capital I've raised year to date, um, how many leads I've gotten based on the lead source, whether that was Facebook, LinkedIn, a networking event. So again, if you have to put data in, like just think about it. If you don't put data into the form, or if no one fills out your form, or if you don't manually come in here and put information in, it's obvious, like you will not have data. Like you will not have data. If I delete everything on this board right here, I won't have anything. I won't see anything. It will be zero because there's no data. So you got to put data in. At least to what I also like is that if I have a conversation, let's say I have a conversation with Kimberly Hernandez, and I know how much money she has and she's ready to invest, I can move her to ready to invest, which that tells me, all right, I've spoken to Kim. Kim is ready. Now I need to go and find a deal for Kim to invest in. Then you have persons who are not interested. And of course, you're going to have a ton of leads where they just don't match or fit that criteria you have. So then they're going to go to disqualify. You're not going to delete them. Do not delete your leads, right? Put them into disqualified. So someone have a question. Do you provide a similar template members can input into Monday? Yes. So on this, like this entire thing that you guys that I have here, I do offer it. It's inside our Skool where you get the entire thing. And or someone from my team will set it up for you. Yeah, you get all of this. Someone from my team will set it up for you on Monday, set up all your automation, connect your email, all of that for you. So you don't have to do it. So you will literally get every single thing that is here. So I hope that answers your question, Ron. Let me know. But answer is yes, you can get that template. So that's it. And then this is a crucial part is when we issue out loans, we gotta keep track of, oh my god, there's something itching my nose. Shut my dots. Okay, I have to keep track of every loan that we issue, like in terms of what is a start date. Even if I borrow money for my own real estate projects, I treat myself as a client in our system, right? So I would have the property address here. I would have when is the loan start date, when is the loan due, how long is the loan. So I put all the details that would be in the loan agreement. I put it all in here. The type of loan, was it a first mortgage, a second, a third, was it a JV, a profit split, all that stuff. For that particular project, I'll put like what the exit strategy was, the asset type, was it single family, commercial, what's the project status, keeping track of when I'm giving my investors updates, when was the last update, how much money they have, how much money they should get, their interest rate, grace period, all those things. Am I supposed to be making monthly payment to some of these investors or any of the operators as well? And I keep track of all these things. So if a loan is active, let's pull this back. If a loan is active, it will be in the active loans. If a borrower is getting ready to pay us back, then it will go into pay off in progress. Or if we paid off the loan, it will go back to paid off or closed. If we extend the loan, let's say we extend it for like another 30 days or 60 days, whatever it is, because it's real estate. Anything happens, nothing goes according to plan. So if there's an extension, it would go here. And then there's this 1% chance, like a 1% chance where someone disappears with the money. So then it goes into default or legal action, or if a loan is late, right, it goes into late. But for every single loan, we keep track of that. So this is perfect if you are raising capital for other people, or you as a developer are managing, taking on a lot of private money. You can keep track of this too. And what I've seen, you have other developers as well use Monday to keep track of all their construction project or fix and flip projects, so they know what is going on with each project. So let's say you have like what do you call it? Maybe instead of active loans, you have renovation properties going through renovation, and then you have another group called, maybe you have all your properties that are listed, or maybe you wholesale all your properties that are under contract, right? So you can like know and organize all that stuff. Then whenever we are, let's say, in the process of going through escrow and all those things, right, we can keep track of all the deals that we have in escrow. Sometimes deals are in escrow and then something is delayed and they gotta wait. Maybe there's title issues and they have to fix that. So then that whole thing gets delayed for another 30 to 60 days. So it may go on hold, but then the deal actually closed, so it goes in funded. Why I like this feature as well, oh my God, my nose. Why I like this feature as well is that I can go to chart view and I can see like if I'm raising capital for other people and I'm a connector, I can see how much money I've made so far for the entire year. I can even break it down. How much money did I make each month or for the year of 2025 or per quarter? I can see how much money I've actually closed for the year as well. Again, for me, if you don't have the data, you can't get all this information as well. I'm able to see how much projects do we have in escrow. Like I can categorize, I can create so many different charts based on this entire table that I have here, right? So that again, I love the chart view. You can do Kanban view. It's whatever you prefer. If you like sliding through like this and just dragging things across, then you can do that. It's whatever suits your boat, I will say. All right. Lastly, let me put the time. Okay, 7:31, so we have time. So that's like the loan part of things. These where you see demo, like you can, again, you can have different workspace. So if you are running a fix and flip business or you have a completely different business outside of real estate, you do not have to put it all in here. You can create a whole new workspace. Like if I go to create new workspace and I can be like, this is about pest control, right? I'm just gonna put that there. And if I add this workspace, I'm gonna start from blank. Nothing relating to what I'm showing you is here. Now I gotta create a whole different area. This is a whole different workspace. And if John is a part of my team for the lending business, John doesn't need to have access to pest control. And that's one of the things that I love about Monday. Only time John will get access to pest control is if I invite John to this entire board, right? So you can have different boards for so many things. You can have unlimited boards and nothing is clashing at all. One fun thing, let me check to make sure if I have any other questions, you guys can drop them too. Is I do a lot of outreach on LinkedIn. So I do keep track of persons that we reach out to on LinkedIn in terms of like the status, like when you do a lot of messages on LinkedIn, we keep track of all of those persons who schedule calls, their job title, their profiling, so it's easy to find. When we send them a message, all those things, because then we're able to know, like, let's say we reach out to 200 people based on their job title or their industry. If we don't get a lot of feedback from that, then we evaluate to see what is it that we need to improve, or maybe we need to target a whole different set of people, or maybe we need to change the messaging, or maybe by when we send our third message, that's when they respond. So we kind of keep track of this. And you do have softwares that you can pay to do LinkedIn, and it keeps tracks of all of this. But I think I like this because we can add different things. The different softwares that I've looked at, there was always the limitations to it. So then we just built this on LinkedIn. So it was easier to find. And then we would just create an SOP from this entire thing. So if someone else from our team comes in, they will be able to just follow that SOP and just replicate the thing. And then you, as the owner, you're not retraining an employee every single time because you already have a system in place. Questions. Daryl said, how are you using LinkedIn Sales Manage? Oh, I'm assuming you're talking about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. That's exactly how we are using LinkedIn Sales Navigator to keep track of all these things, based on the different groups, the job titles, the number of messages that we send out. We keep track of all those things for persons who book a call. And for those who are a little bit confused with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, if you have a regular, and I'm not affiliated with LinkedIn, I'm not getting paid for this, okay? But if you have a regular LinkedIn, I think you get a cap on the amount of invites that you can send. If you just have a regular account, I think it's like 25. Then you have some person's account where if you have a regular account, you cannot send that person a message. With LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can send a lot of connection requests at once. You can send a ton of messages at once. Um, you can find new persons based on like different filters, job title, how long they've been on LinkedIn, they post, and all those things that you can dive into. I think I did a session with this with my private community a couple weeks ago, where I actually went in and showed them my LinkedIn Sales Navigator, all the filters that I use for my Sales Navigator and what our messaging look like. We kind of did a whole breakdown. I would say though, with LinkedIn is something, and this is why the tracker is so important, because you do not see results right away. It's not something where you're going to see the results in like a week. It takes time, and you just have to consistently keep doing it. I would say, at least if you decide to give LinkedIn a try, do it for at least 3 months um, as well. So even here too that I mentioned, um, here, well, it shows you how to use the LinkedIn as well, but it gives you like a little bit of like information that I give you, how you can create your about section. And see, it touched a little bit on how to find leads, how to structure your messages, and all that stuff, so you don't sound like everybody else who is spamming messages as well. So you get a little tease on how to do your intro message and all that stuff, and how to create your about section so it stands out as well. um oh, Dara said yes, so that's LinkedIn sales. That's my take on LinkedIn. It has worked for us, and we just try to find different ways to keep improving it as much as we can. And that's why, again, if you don't have data, I think it gets to a point like, if you are trying to find new leads, like you have to try things over and over and over for a certain amount of time, 2 months, 90 days, 2 months, whatever it is. But you have to try it, collect as much data as you can, and then from that data, decide like, did this work? Why didn't it work? What do we need to improve, and all that stuff. So that's what we did with LinkedIn, and we're always doing. So it's super, super important for us to keep track of this entire system here as well. So if you guys are not in Skool, you can get this link straight in Skool. I'll also, yeah, you can get the link in Skool, so you can like reach out to our team and have this entire thing set up. You do have to have your own Monday account as well. But so if you do decide to get it, don't go register for Monday as yet. Just follow our instructions, because we don't want you to get the wrong plan. Monday is a subscription thing. We do not pay for that. You are responsible for that, because we don't know how many persons are on your team and all those things. But again, if you decide to get this, we will walk you through in terms of which plan to get, because you have Monday CRM, you have Monday work management, you have different plans available. So we tell you which one to get before we set it up. But this is the Monday that I use. Again, I like it because I can just do this, and there's colors. I don't need any special codes. I don't need to be tech savvy, because it's so straightforward. I can set up a bunch of automations. I can send out emails directly from here. And here's a cool feature too. Let's say I'm communicating with my team about a project, and this does not have to, it could be an item, it could be whatever it is, right? For me, in this case, on this particular board, it's relating to a property. I can go here and open the message, and I can have a full blown tech chat in the updates here. So instead of always texting back and forth with that team member, I can always at the person and say, hey, what's going on with this file? If I want to see all the documents attached to that particular file, I can see that. If I want to send emails directly to maybe the operator in charge or on this project, or the lender on this project, or an external party that's a part of this project, I don't need to come out of Monday and then go into Gmail. I can just do new email, and it sends right there, which is again amazing. Okay. And I can see all these different views, for that particular deal, like 123 Main Street. But I think this is what I like, because then if multiple team members are working on a particular file, then you are commenting real time. You're seeing the time difference with when comments are done and nothing is lost. And if I want to take it a step further, I can literally, like, let's say you have multiple people on your team, I can assign this task to someone. So let's say if I do, let's do this, and I'm going to create the people column, right? I can always come in here and assign that particular task to somebody on my team. So at least I know who is the owner, and you can always rename this to whatever you like. And even if you're not raising capital, like anything that you are doing and you're trying to let that include some form of work management, like this platform is amazing. Don't just look at what I name it. You can rename it whatever that works for your business, depending on the industry that you're in. I know persons who use this for their what is that called? Like the infinite banking thing. The infinite banking persons use this who help other persons to get like credit repairs to keep track of all of this. I know persons who have mortgage brokerage that use this. There's so many things that you can use it for, and that's the beauty about it. Ron said I clicked the link from Skool and it directed me to Fundrise. Is that correct? No. Let me, you know what? Let me just give you the link directly. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna give you that link directly. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just give you that link. Oopsie doopsie. It's always when you want to do something. Okay. So if it's not giving you that link, I'll just find it for you and give it to you. Okay. Okay. Ron, here you go. That's the link. So I would suggest that just save that link so at least you have it. Let's hope that works. If that doesn't work, let me know. So at least you have that link. But yeah, right. What I was saying too, I know persons who manage all their Airbnb, all their rental properties here. I think what we should think about is if you are a full-time entrepreneur and you just need a system to manage every single thing that you have going on, this is the perfect thing to do, to use. Because I have this, I cut out a lot of third party like Slack. I cut out what is it I cut out? I mentioned I used to use ClickUp, I used to use Get Response. I got rid of that. So the only software I mainly use now is Monday and MailChimp. Zoom to record my meetings. So even if or do any form of recording, like I can take the link. Let's say, for example, okay, here's another thing. I have a team and the team create an entire SOP, right? Maybe the group is to how to reach out, how to do lead outreach, how to do outreach for leads on Facebook. And let's say I have a video, and this video, let's actually do this. Hold on. Pest control. Okay. So let's say, and I'm gonna show you guys how like you do not need, see, here's a beautiful thing. You don't need to do real estate. This where I'm talking about, if I tell it to create an entire board, it will do that. So if I'm like create a board with groups for, I had a whole idea that was not related to real estate and I forgot. Create a board. Guys, just give me something in the chat that I can create that's not related to real estate. Let's say I'm doing it for an event or soft launch. Create items that you think I would need under each group. Let's see what it does. I don't know. And then, so I have this, and then you can name like what each thing will be named. If you want to like items, budget, projects. For me, most times it's projects, or it could be leads, or sometimes it's property address. It just depends on the space. In this case, it will be items. So let's see what it comes up with. We're testing this out together and see. I hope this doesn't let me down because it was worked perfectly. I hope it doesn't. Oh, it's adding your items. Okay. Guys, I'm nervous. I hope this doesn't let me down because it did a phenomenal job for me when I discovered it. And I created multiple. Look at that, you guys. Bam! It literally created it. All the things that I need to do for launch execution. If I want to put attachments, I can put it there. Who's the owner? What's the status? Have I started? In progress? No. Category. Oh, this is amazing. Oh, I love this. Timeline. Budget. Post event follow up. You see, like you can do so much things. This has nothing to do with real estate. Like I use this as well to keep track of my events. Like how amazing. If I needed to add more columns, here's the thing too. If I needed to add more columns or rename the columns name, the headings, or rename the group, I would just tell it to rename it. Right. And a perfect example is that when I'm setting up my short-term rentals, I have a master checklist. That master checklist would have sub items, right? So sub items meaning like let's say for example, this right here said coordinate or launch activities. I have a few items that matches under this. So I can have sub items under that one task as well. So this is amazing too. And then you can add a whole different set of headings here as well. So you can do so many things. If I decide to delete this and I was like, oh, scrap that, and I delete it by accident, like I can always get it back. Um, Most times I don't delete things, I always archive them. So I have things archived, I'll say since maybe like 2, 3 years ago. But if you delete it, you can always get it back. Um, yes, Ron, that is correct. That's just one company name. So yes, you can use that as well. All right. So that's one great thing. This AI agent, I am literally testing this out, and so far I'm impressed, but I won't share that yet because it can be a lot. And one thing too, like if you're like me and you have multiple boards, because I have a ton of boards, like completely different things, right? I can go to my work and I can see everything across all the boards, all the workspaces that belongs to me and the due dates, right? So if you have a home page as well. I really don't use the home page, honestly. I do not use the home page. You have an inbox there, my recently viewed, but I can see like all my work and stuff like that. I can see the table format, all those things I can see, past due date. Again, I can see all those things. For me, this is a tab that is always open. Um, when I start my day, this is the first thing that opens because then I have my team that needs my attention. So I just go into my notification and just start knocking things out. It's a great way for me to keep all of my team's tasks because, again, I have different virtual assistants and they are doing different tasks as well. That's completely different from real estate and what is it that I'm doing. So I need things to or a system where I can manage every single thing that I am doing. If not, I will go cuckoo. I will go cuckoo. Like I I mean I still have notebooks, I still have whiteboards, I still have a to-do list, but most of my stuff is here. I keep it in Monday. Like I have a whole task list in operations for my team where they know like this week these are all the tasks that you're focused on. Then we have upcoming week, and then I have items that need Kalicia's feedback review or all the tasks that are done. So even if I put things on my to-do list or my whiteboard, I always still come back in here and add it to my list as well. I have my team creating, I think, SOPs for different tasks that they were doing, and they built an entire board in Monday. So if I come back in here, I'm using pest control because we did this together. So if I come in here and I said, where is this AI plus? Oh, here's the thing too. With Google, so the boards, these are like Excel. You can, if I wanted to export this entire thing right now, including the drop down, so it comes out exactly like this, I can export it in Excel sheet, right? I can literally export it and upload it into Excel. So you have the option to export into, where is it? Export items, right? So you can export the board into Excel. And if you have an existing Excel sheet, you can upload it directly into Monday. You can do all of that. You don't have to use Google Word either, right? I use their version, which is Doc. So I use their version of Google Word. What I love about this is that you can have table of content in here. Like you can have table of content. You can see who created a document, the date, when was it last updated. If I wanted to add like a banner at the top so it's more presentable, then I could do an image, and they have their image there. So I'm just going to use one of Monday's images and apply. I can change how I want the document to look, right? The text, large, all that stuff. I can add pictures, charts, all those things. And if I want, I can share this document link individually, right? I can just share that, or I can export it as a PDF with the design at the top. So it's a presentable, a nice document. And I don't have to do all that fancy design myself. And this is how it would look, right? Again, for me, it's like whatever that makes my life easier because I already have a lot on my plate. So these are the things, and like, let's go. Let's make it easier. Forms, all those things you can do as well. Any other questions before we wrap up? We got about 8 minutes to go, and then we'll be wrapping up. But that's Monday project management for you. I swear by this. I've been using this for a long time. I don't know where, if I will ever change to somewhere else unless someone builds me an entire software for myself. Yeah, then I'll take it. But so far, this is working. It has been working. I highly recommend it. And I recommend it to people who are not even in real estate because that's my thing. I'm like, you do not forget about real estate, right? Just think about it again. It's a work management. Anything where if you're always jotting things down in your notebooks and you have a team and you just need to keep track of every single thing that you're doing, this is perfect. I have the app on my phone as well, so I can navigate stuff on my phone too, right? So that's what I will just recommend it because it's just amazing. It is just amazing. All right. Okay. Any other questions before I go? Ron said, yes, Ron, that is the correct link. Another way you can view it is just by going directly straight on my website. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that link as well. That I hope that helps. If not, send me a message on Skool and then I can direct you to it as well. But the link that I sent before, or you can get it through my website, just clicking that link. Monday CRM Pro subscription. Yes, I would recommend that one, but it depends on the number of seats. If you do decide to get it, let me know, Daryl, because what I see happen a lot is when people decide to get when they want the template, they get the incorrect subscription, and it's an issue to convert it from using Monday support. So if it's something that you want, Daryl, don't sign up for Monday yet. Just let me know, and then we usually give an instruction step by step which plan to get and the number of seats, and that also help you to save cost as well, because it's something that we've seen over time and time again. They get the incorrect thing, and then we can't even give you the entire template because the wrong subscription was done. So even that too, Darrell, like feel free to send me a message on Skool. That way I can share that with you. But yeah, this is Monday. Just a reminder again before we close out that I will be doing a breakdown telling you what to do week by week as it comes on to when it comes down to you raising funds for to acquire your first real estate deal, maybe your second or your third, or you want to do it for other people. That will be this Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The link is in the chat. But guess what? I'm being me and I'm gonna drop it again. I love doing workshops, like I kind of like teaching. I never thought that would be my thing, but I do like teaching. I like being able to break things down to people so they don't understand. And I don't believe in sharing fluff. Like fluff is it's a waste of time with doing fluff. You know what I'm saying? It's a waste of time. I don't like doing fluff at all. So I just dropped that in there again. So at least you guys would have it. But again, this is one of the main part that I use to run my lending business with me raising capital. I have workspaces as well that I keep track of all my properties. If I have partnerships, what is the partnership? What is it you call the percentages? Is a property occupied? Is it vacant? All those things. How did I acquire it? Again, just for me to keep track and stay organized. If a property on 123 Main Street, I can literally go in my workspace called property management, and I could find the property on 123 Main Street. And maybe there's a Google Drive link that I need because I need access to the Google Docs. Bam, it's easy to find. I don't got to go into a bunch of emails that I have, the bunch of Google Drive to find that document. For me, it is just easier. It's all about ease for me to find things that I need. I don't need more headaches and stress. Okay. I need things that are super easy. Who's with me? Like it's all about convenience, especially when we're so involved in different things and you're flipping, you're renovating, but you also have your W-2 job, but you also have another side hustle. Like you're doing a ton of things. It's tough. But I love talking about Monday because Monday makes me happy. Monday makes me really happy. And I just get a lot done on Monday. And now that I discovered this AI sidekick thing that's been on my Monday board for a long time, it's been like a game changer. Now I'm going to take advantage of this AI agents thing and this AI workflow. Because again, and I think when I got this, I got rid of, again, so many other subscriptions that I was using. And I think this feature I think is so underrated because let's say if I go in contacts, I can just select everything and it pops up, oh, I want to do a mass email. I want to do a mass email, or I want to add them to a sequence, or I can filter, like I can say, like if I go in my contacts and I could say, show me everyone, I can filter them who has a tag. Let's say is a PML. I mean, everyone's a PML, but let's in that sample, right? I can be like, show me everyone who has a type PML, whose preferred lending is long term, right? And then voila, it just filters it out. I can even filter it. Show me everyone who has between 100 to 200,000. And once it filters, I can be like, send all those people an email, and I could do mass email, and I could just put what the email is about. right? Look at this. See, now, bingo. Look at this that I didn't even realize. You can now create different campaigns in Monday. See what I'm talking about? They're always trying to find creative ways. So now you can create different templates, campaigns in Monday. Yeah, this is completely new because this was not there. So I guess again, they are improving, right? And you can set up templates. Like if you find yourself sending the same emails over and over and over again, you can literally do it and turn it into a template so you do not have to recreate the same emails again. Like you can just go here, template, call it whatever, and save it so you use it all the time. And that's what I love. Again, the email tracking, because I'm able to see who opened my email. And if I put a link in there, who is clicking my link? And I can send from different emails as well. See the beauty of it. Okay, the beauty of it. All right. So I know it is 8:01, and how do I stop